But foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem.
In New York City, you can now buy something without a
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rule Well. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying to the hopeful elect. This is a video. Looks like it's going into the RFID chip. The RFID chip, and looked like you had a sister that had a vision.
Weight sensors to know.
Fuck, man. Looked like you had a sister that was going into it, and I'm noticing the Most High is giving a lot of these women are getting dreams, you know, for the simple fact because, see, one thing about the woman, she's completely at ease here in America. But the Lord is giving them dreams because he is showing them and confirming the words of the prophets. Now, you know, brothers get dreams and etc. But then you may say, well, we're the prophets. Why don't we get these type of dreams? Well, you know, the scriptures say that the Lord is going to pour out his spirit on all flesh, man. And sometimes, you know, dreams can be overwhelming, you know, depending on how vivid they are. Like me personally, I get very vivid dreams or visions. You know, even though the scriptures say that dreams lift up fools, and, you know, basically trying to break down a dream is like, you know, it's like basically swatting at a gnat. It's really monotonous. But in some cases, if it's sent from the Heavenly Father, then it's good to take heed to. Like I had a spiritual dream yesterday, and it was pretty much a good one. It's the brothers and myself, man, and I kept seeing the number 777s, and I think 9. I can't recall what 9 means, but usually we see 4s and 5s, which represents power. 4 represents mercy, the elect. You know, I think 1 is wisdom or something like that, or foundation. 11 may be foundation. I think 12 or 13 is something is rulership. I can't recall. I got the chart somewhere, but regardless of it, you know, some brothers get very vivid dreams or visions. Myself, I get them in seasons. You know, sometimes I go seasons without getting them, and then sometimes I have them pretty periodically, you know. But since I've been in the truth, I've had several visions and dreams of you know, the end and martial law and RFID chip and spiritual power and concentration camps and hell breaking loose. I've had several of those visions before. So to say that the Lord don't give his men visions, that's not necessarily true, because he does give them to us. But as it tells us, the Lord will pull out his spirit on all flesh. And we're in those times, man. So with that being said, I'm gonna play this video, and I'm gonna get a couple precepts, and it's gonna speak for itself. So here we go. We're in them times, brothers, man. All right, we ain't got too much longer. It's not tearing it. So just take heed and keep your eyes on the spiritual swivel.
Something without a phone, a credit card, cash, anything. You enter the store with your Palm. You can register your Palm once at any Whole Foods, and they will pair your Palm to your credit card. Once you grab an item, the store uses weight sensors to know something was taken, combines it with camera technology to know that it was you, and charges you as you walk out the store. No staff, no cards, no cash.
To assist in our recovery, the Neo-Sapien Occupation Committee has ordered all Terrans to register with the Neo-Sapien Central Administration at once. During this registration, a small identification chip will be implanted under the skin. This will be mandatory for all natural humans.
These motherfuckers out here play you. Use your brain, use your logic, think for yourself, question everything. Don't put no foreign objects in your tent.
So my dream was regarding the RFID chip that is upon us. So, shalom, brothers and sisters. Please be mindful of the times that we are in. It's crazy. So I was in like a hospital type facility. Don't know what I was in there for.
Yeah, and this is the young lady that had the vision. So I assume she's an Israelite the way she started off, but let me go ahead and pay attention to it. So I can.
These motherfuckers out here play you. Use your brain, use your logic, think for yourself, question everything. Don't put no foreign objects in your tent.
So my dream was was regarding the RFID chip that is upon us. So, shalom, brothers and sisters. Please be mindful of the times that we are in. It's crazy. So I was in like a hospital type facility. Don't know what I was in there for. But I was walking around like I was trying to find my way out, and I seen exits, and I can see what they're doing to people. They're chipping them with these little things, and sometimes they're passing them out so that people could do themselves, and they just tell them where to stick it. So it was like the size of, you know how those pens are with the point, but it has like, you can see I can't explain it. It's like those ballpoint pens that looks like a needle, kind of. It looked just like that, like it was the size of that.
Like a hypodermic needle. You got like a snake head on the end of it.
That ball at the end of the ballpoint pen. And they were sticking people in their hands. So I seen them sticking people in their hands, and they gave me one, like for me to stick myself. And I didn't want to stick it in my hand because I was like, no, I'm not taking the mark of the beast. But I believe God wanted me to feel what they were feeling. So I think I stuck myself in the stomach or something. And it was, I could feel it going into my stomach, and the shock, like the sensation, I could feel the sensation that came with it, like in my stomach, and then it shot out, like it gushed out like water. So it didn't stick. And I think I stuck myself in 2 different places just so I could feel it again. I felt it. I was like, whoa, that hurts. And what I was witnessing with the people, because it shot out of me, like I didn't stick it where it was supposed to go, so it shot out of me.
All right, now what I get from that is, even though it didn't go in you, the fact that you did it, you know what I'm saying? You did it because, see, it's gonna be a conscious decision to do it or not. It ain't gonna be, and some people, they may, you just a demon and they just force you at gunpoint. But overall, the MOTB is gonna be a conscious decision to take. And most people are gonna take it because, their world is gonna crumble from before them. And you gotta understand how Esau will gradually do it. Like things are getting bad. People losing jobs, and the midst of people being built up with comfortability just to get things taken away from them. When people are living in comforts, and this is the result of it, man. And people, they gonna lose it because, like apostles always say, when people don't have nothing to lose, they lose it. And these people are getting ready to lose it, to say the least, because they've been built up with pride. They've been comfortable. They've been living high off the grass, so to speak. So they're not going to have a choice but to take it because their faith is going to be shot. Okay, they ain't going to know what it's like to want to be homeless and have to sell all your shit and make quick moves. I mean, that's frustrating when you got to make a quick move and you got nice stuff. You got to sell it off, and, you don't know if you're going to get hired nowhere else. That's a stressful point. That's a stressful point. That's very, very stressful, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's going to get real, real rough and rugged out here. All right, but I'm going to finish, let her play this, and then we're going to get the precepts, and that'll be it.
I was witnessing the people around me who they were sticking, like they had them attached to these heart monitors, right? And when they stuck them, they flatlined, and then were brought back to life, if that makes sense at all. Because, the devil tries to imitate God or tries to imitate Christ. So, how you have to be born again and come as a child. It was like a rebirth into the beast system. I watched these people die after getting this thing and come back. I don't know who they were coming back as or what have you. Like they were still like the same person. Like, Lord help me. Okay. So I was trying to get out of the hospital. And they were calling my name, like, I don't know how these people know my name, but they was calling my name, like, hey, Quitty, come back. And I'm like, So, I'm trying to fight to get out of there. And I'm just sharing this because I prayed for God to help me to remember. And I have plenty of dreams, but this one I feel like it's like He gave it to me twice. That has to mean something. It's here.
So it's more like a vision. All right, the Most High give you, because visions play out like movies. Dreams are all over the place. You can tell the difference between a typical dream and an actual vision. And most of the time, visions play out like movies. Even though they jump scenes, visions play out it's like taking my herbs, man. But dreams, they play out like visions play out like movies, so to speak. And you can recall it scene by scene. Like one vision I had when I was with the brothers and we was in Chicago, and then all of a sudden, ended up in this damn FEMA camp, and it played out piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? It was like a jump, but then all of a sudden I was in the damn concentration camp, and I was walking through it, and the angel was showing me everything in there, and it was scene by scene. Even to the point you could remember certain faces. So, but a dream is just like all over the place. To say this. But to say this, what she's saying is on point. So, win of times. Okay, so let's go to the book of Sirach 34, and I'm going to start at verses 1. And this is why all the time, too, man, you brothers out there that just have, like, dreams regarding people and stuff like that, unless it's prophetic, don't be setting your spirit or your heart on it, man, because all the time we dream shit about people, and, sometimes it could scare the hell out of you, man, but sometimes you just get like, okay, you just got a grain of salt. Because it don't always mean that, unlikely. But in this case, a vision, and it's backed up by the scriptures, that's something to take heed from, too. But it says, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. You got a lot of women out there that divine, they have these dreams, they call themselves prophetess, and it just be a bunch of psychobabble, man, Well, I had a dream that I was the king of the world and the queen of the world, and I got a lot of infinite riches and all this and that. That's folly, man. All right, but it says, but whosoever regarded dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followed after the wind, because you can't catch a shadow. It's not tangible, okay? It's tangible, but you can see a shadow, but you can't catch it. It's just a reflection. It's a silhouette of your reflection of light. That's all it is. Same thing with the wind. You can't see the wind. You can't catch the wind. All right. It says the vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to face. But unclean thing, what can be clean? And from one thing which is false can truth come. All right. And this goes into like people divining. But this is the point. It says divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart that fancieth as a woman's heart in travail. And it says, if they be not sent from the Most High, in thy visitation set not thy heart upon them. But in this case, this vision was sent from the Heavenly Father because she had it twice. Okay, she had it twice, and that lets you know there. Usually, like I said, visions, they pick up and then they add on, and then sometimes you may have one part, and then the Lord may give you the second part a fucking year, 2-3 years later, man. Okay, and even when you go into the scriptures, when prophets, like when you go into like Jeremiah, let's say hypothetically, right, when it said that the word of the Lord came to Ezekiel the prophet, and the Lord said X, Y, and Z, and then you go to the second chapter may not have come to pass, or it may not have been in fruition until months or years down the line. Okay, like the Lord didn't reveal a whole book to Ezekiel at one time. It was broken up over increments, man. So between verses, let's just say, and I'm just throwing this out there, like Ezekiel 37, that's one vision right there. That's one complete vision. Ezekiel 38, that's a whole different vision. And the Lord gave it to him in increments. Ezekiel 36, etc. But let's just say Ezekiel 40 and 41, that could have been literally years apart from when the Lord was speaking to Ezekiel, man. So it wasn't all at once. Like one vision I had, Jacob's Trouble kicked off, and I was at work, and it was me and my supervisor and a couple of coworkers. And we was like in this corner store. It's like a store, you know how those stores be like on the corner and shit? But it was like a boutique / furniture shop, and we was all in there, and then the lights went out, and it was me and my supervisor and a couple of more people, and we was kind of like hiding in his room in the dark. And we like, be quiet, the troops are out there. People was out there looking for us, and then all of a sudden the spirit woke me up. You know what I'm saying? And that was like maybe a 10-minute, that could have literally been, it felt like 10 minutes to me, but that vision could have lasted 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? While I was sleeping, and it just cut off. So can the Most High give me a follow-up to that? Sure he can. When would he do it? I don't know. But in my spirit, I'm like, that's a vision, because it felt real. It was like it just felt too real. You know what I'm saying? You actually felt it. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it operates. So in this case, the Most High did send her a vision. All right, Acts 2, and I'm going to start at verse 17. It says, and it should come to pass in the last days, says Yahweh, that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. And she was prophecy, basically, which prophecy goes into say before. Okay, because she was saying basically what the scriptures are saying. Okay, she was saying the RFID chip is going to come to pass. That's in the scriptures. That's prophecy. Does that make her a prophet? I mean, you can say a prophetess, but that doesn't mean that she's like a divine, holy oracle from the Most High. Okay. Give me 1 second. Real quick. Damn things. Anyway, and it says here, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And this is the result of it. So it's safe to say that what she's saying will eventually come to pass. You know why? Because we can solidify it through the scriptures. Okay, even when Pharaoh had his dream about Egypt going under 7 years of famine, 7 years of plenty, eventually came to pass. And who had to break down the vision? Joseph, you know? So let's go here. Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33 and 33. And I ended after this, man. I mean, you know, it's just straightforward. It doesn't need a whole breakdown on it. But we're coming into the time now that society is going to collapse, and this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. This is going to be basically the heaven, the hell sent gift to get people to opt into the system, because most people are going to opt into it because they don't have faith. And Yahushua said, when the Son of Man come on earth, shall he find faith? All right, but this is the book of Ezekiel 33 and 33. It says, and when this comes to pass, lo, it will come, then they should know that a prophet had been among them. All right, so I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Akakodash.
These people know my name, but you know that.
Until the next lesson, Shalom.